Are you thinking, I want one but don't know how? Here's a 5-step starter map to launching an online side hustle business for men and women over 45 who want to build something of their own. A few years ago, I found myself staring at a blank computer screen, trying to figure out how to turn my decades of my professional life and personal life experiences into something new, something that could give me purpose and a little more peace of mind. Maybe you're there now. You've spent your life working hard for others, and now you're wondering, what would it look like to build a business of my own based on my experiences, skills, or expertise? I didn't know where to start. I had just retired from my job as a geriatric psychiatrist, specializing in treating patients with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. I wasn't sure how I could turn that into a non-medical online side hustle business. But over time, and after a lot of trial and error, I began to see a pattern. I was an educator. I taught physicians, medical students, and even caregiving staff at nursing homes and in assisted living facilities. I'm a bit of a techie, and as a piano player since I was 6, I've always been good at typing, whether on a typewriter or a computer. I had started my own medical practice business from scratch, and later created a book and an online business in my spare time during one of my jobs. And once AI was introduced, my path was clear. I decided to start a business called Mastering Your Wellbeing Inc., focused on teaching people who've worked for others for years learn how to start their own side businesses from scratch using the power of AI. Over time, I was able to develop a 5-step path that helped me go from confusion to clarity, and ultimately to creating a side business that I love. Today, I want to share that path with you. So let's get into it. Step 1 is all about your passion. We start with the passion inventory. For many of you, you're probably like me, over 45. You've got a lifetime of passion, skills, stories, and lessons that are incredibly valuable. So you're not starting from scratch. The first step is to write it all down. What are your passions? What lights you up? What do people ask you to help them with? What are you particularly good at? And what could you talk about for hours without looking at the clock? You don't have to be an expert, but more skilled than your target audience. When I did this, I realized I had a passion for helping people improve their lives, teaching them step-by-step strategies to create, build, or solve something, especially when they felt stuck. Your business idea is hiding in what you already know and love. That's step number 1. Next is step 2, visualizing the future you want. Forget the 10-year plan that so many talk about. Let's talk about the next 12 months. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what would my day look like if I had a small business I actually enjoyed running? Are you coaching, teaching online, selling a digital product you created? That vision is your North Star. Write it down. Having it written on paper in front of you matters more than you think. It's no longer just an idea. Next, we'll turn to step 3, using mind mapping to connect the dots. Step 3 is the part where things get fun. Take one of your highest ranking passions from the first step and write it in the center of a blank page. Now draw lines out to related skills, experiences, or ideas. Can these become products, services, or workshops? That's how the Passion Project Playbook was born for me. It started as a scribble in my notebook and grew into something bigger. In the center, my passion was helping improve people's lives. That's my core why. Writing circles around the center with lines from the center to each surrounding circle, I added teaching, personal well-being, professional well-being, creating a business, technology, which has become AI, and music, piano and singing. Yes, many decades ago, I was in a bunch of singing groups. Interestingly enough, almost every one of the surrounding circles, all except music, have become part of my business, which was the same decision I made when I became a doctor. By teaching people how to start a side business using AI, the hope would be to help them improve their professional financial well-being as well as personal and emotional well-being, with more time for family and a happier, less stressful life. Granted, none of that is guaranteed since results may vary based on training, motivation, determination, effort, and the product they choose and its marketability, among other factors. However, that was my experience with step 3. Next, this is where a lot of people get stuck. choosing one offer. And that's step 4, choosing one offer. This is where some people become overwhelmed due to indecisiveness. They want to do everything, which leads to end up doing nothing. But if you're building something for the first time, one simple offer is enough. It could be a 3-page guide, a 60-minute coaching call, a mini course, something that solves one specific problem for one specific group of people. Keep it lean, keep it doable. It can always grow from there. The next step is step 5, the launch. This is the part where you hit publish, even if it's not perfect. Especially if it's not perfect. Get it out there. Make a post, send an email, offer your guide to a few friends. There are a couple of mantras I hear people use to help themselves take this step. Momentum beats perfection, and perfection is poverty. The truth is, most of us over 45 aren't trying to go viral. We're trying to build something steady, purposeful, and hopefully profitable without burning out. Well, these are the 5 steps. If you're in the over 45 or over 50 crowd, or if you've been held back in getting started for whatever reason, my final thought is, you're not starting late, you're starting ready. If you've been thinking, I don't have enough time, or I'm not tech savvy enough, I get it. But what if I told you that you don't need to have it all figured out? You just need a path, a place to begin. That's why I wrote the Passion Project Playbook. It walks you through these 5 steps in depth and more on launching, marketing, and growing the business with exercises, examples, tips, and more strategies. If you're ready to stop waiting and start building, see the comments for details.